And welcome back to another Souls Day episode. And I'm really glad you could join me today in this endeavor that is a good game called Dark Souls. This video is going to be relatively short, as it's something I should have done in the beginning but I forgot to do, so please forgive me on that, but I'm still willing to show you. And that is getting the Grave Lord Sword and the Rite of Kindling. You actually do not need to do anything at the beginning of the game to get these. Like, you don't need to farm up a few levels or a few items. You can do it straight out of the Undead Asylum. As soon as you read Firelink Shrine, you can just get it over and done with, and reinforce your kindling and be able to get 20 Estus flasks, which is really helpful. So I hope you just watch the video and enjoy. I would like to give a shout out to a friend of mine called Tony Grammz. He's a musician, a rapper and an artist, and we were talking and I just thought to myself, hey, why don't I just put a few of your songs on my video, as I think you've got some talent, and I like your songs, I like the messages you try to put across, and I hope that the viewers out there will get a chance to see you as well and help you spread your word. So yes, shout outs to him and his music that I'll be playing today. And also, generally this video is just, I'm gonna talk about a bit of lore, and that lore is about Pinwheel, the necromancer, who you will find later on in the Tomb of the Giants when you get the Rite of Kindling. But yeah, generally that's it. As you can see on the video, I haven't actually fought that much. All you just need to do is be careful with your runs and time your blocks and evasions, as these skeletons in numbers can stun lock you, as you just saw right there. Thanks to that hit, I fell off the ledge and died, but that's okay. This game is all about retrying and retrying until you get it right. So I only lost my Ring of Sacrifice, which is okay. I didn't really want to lose the one humanity I had. It's not much, but each humanity goes a long way. So more about the Catacombs. I honestly, I haven't come across thinking about like the architecture and why the Catacombs themselves were built in Lordran. I'm not sure, but I'll try research more on it and and try give you guys a little bit of lore and some backstory to it, because the Catacombs really interest me in the way the setting is and the tone of the stage, and also the reasoning behind why the Catacombs were there and why Nito lays to rest in the Catacombs themselves. I guess being the Administrator of Death, it would be a much more suiting setting for him. But I don't know, maybe there's another reason towards it, and I don't want to assume too much. As you can see there, the skeleton really almost spoiled my attempts at getting to the Nito boss room. If he had decided to continue attacking, I dare say he would have killed me. But luckily enough, that did not happen. And really, you just have to lay in the coffin here until the Titanite demon gets close to you or just passes your head. Usually that's when the cutscene happens. And as we see here, we see a strange character comes to close the coffin. I'm not really sure who this is. Maybe someone could tell me. I'm not sure. Maybe I forgot. But a servant of death comes to close the coffin and take you straight to the Nito boss room. I don't know if there's any significance to that, but maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. I'm not sure. But yeah, as the coffin opens, you get to the Nito boss room, and all should be fine. The only thing you have to do is get to the Grave Lord coffin and enter the Covenant, and you instantly get the miracle and the sword. You're supposed to get the Eyes of Death behind the Titanite demon, by the way. It's I don't know if it's a must, but it's recommended that you do so to enter the Covenant. I don't think you can without the Eyes of Death, which you can further use to infect other people's worlds and spread misery and despair to lure out black phantoms and all other phantoms actually, and that's how the Gravelord Covenant works. Now onto the lore that I'd want to talk to you about, as I am going there instantly. Oh, not instantly, but that's where I'm traveling to now, and that's Pinwheel, to get the right of kindling. Now, Pinwheel is an interesting character in my point of view, and in Dark Souls lore, and because as much as I don't have much concrete evidence as to what I'm about to say, I kinda like it though, as a point of view that some people share, and I share it with them too. And now, when you look at Pinwheel, instantly, visually, as you can see, Pinwheel seems to be an abomination, like an amalgamation of 3 people. And that's the mother, the child, and the father. Now, the fact that you get the right of kindling of Pinwheel, and you have to consider that Pinwheel is a necromancer, so the art of necromancy is one seen to be very unholy and an abomination to life itself, and that is the attempt to raise spirits from the dead, I guess, and control these otherworldly, these netherworldly spirits. And that's, I think that in my summary, that's what I think necromancy is. And so, as you can see, Pinwheel really is not something good. Well, you'd ask yourself, why though the father, the child, and the mother are stuck together? Maybe this is how I think. Maybe once upon a time, the father was genuinely a necromancer and was interested in this plight of speaking and controlling and raising spirits from the dead, or something similar. And maybe the family died. Oh, okay, we could assume maybe 3 things. Maybe he was interested in necromancy and was delving into the arts, and his family died, or another necromancer who was there during his time maybe could have killed his family or had done something to him. Either way, he lost his family and was left alone. That's how I think. How that happened, I'm not sure. So when he was left alone, he probably loved his family so much that he couldn't live without them, and he wondered what he could do to raise his family back from the grave. So he must have delved into necromancy and found that there was a way to actually raise his family back and get their spirits back into their bodies, and that was through necromancy. But also you have to consider that Gravelord Nito, in the beginning it says he found a Lord Soul and was the administer of death. So that means, in a way, Nito controlled who lived and who died, as he was the administer of death itself. So he, Pinwheel, whatever his real name was, probably thought the best way to start this would be to steal the power of the Gravelord. And whether he's the one who put Nito to sleep, I don't know, or whether Nito is asleep in his coffin because of the fact that he doesn't need to travel to administer death. It's something he does. He's like he is everywhere all at once, sort of. I forgot the word for it. But anyway, he steals this right of kindling, this power, and delves into the art of necromancy to try and raise his family back from the dead. But sadly, I think that this attempt failed him, and instead didn't raise his family from the dead, but instead made the family whole, and this amalgamation of the mother, the father, and the child became into existence, and it came into existence as Pinwheel. Because if you also look at the masks, death masks are usually like mementos of the family before their death. Well, not the family, but of the person before they die. Usually people make paintings or masks or whatever. Well, masks is one way of portraying someone, and family members or friends can wear these masks at certain occasions to try remember their fallen loved ones when people look at them, and that's the point of a death mask. So if you look at the mask of the father is it's a all these masks have symbolisms, and the mask of the father symbolizes like the father's great burden. Even if you read the description, it's the burden of the father, and that's why it increases equipment load. It shows his great burden carrying this great load that he has on his shoulders, which is the mother and the child. After this amalgamation has occurred, he is literally carrying the burden of his family due to his mistake. Whether it was his mistake when they were still alive which caused their death, or his mistake of not letting them rest in peace. But I personally believe that is why the mask of the father represents the great burden that the father has to pay for his great mistake. And if you look at the mask of the child, it shows like how the stamina of youth, and how children have this seamlessly endless pool of energy and stamina, and that's why I guess the mask of the child gives you all this stamina. And the mask of the mother represents the mother being the life giver and her vitality. That's why when you wear it as the player, you seem to get increased vitality. So those are like the symbolisms of the three masks of Pinwheel, and generally what I think represents what occurred in the life of this necromancer who stole the power of the Grave Lord just to try raise his family from the dead. Maybe he thought Nito had done him wrong by killing his family. Maybe he thought it wasn't his family's time to die. And generally by the way you see it, you see that he could not live without his family. That's why he delved into the art of necromancy for so long. And it yielded many mistakes, and he's paying for these mistakes and carrying this burden. And that's why you see he's forever in his crypt, which you find open, looking and searching for signs to raise his family back from the dead. Why you find his crypt open, I'm not sure. Maybe he was gaining hope, hoping that maybe one day he'll look back and see his family behind him. Because as you can see, as you go further into the tomb, there are more and more pinwheels, and you'd wonder, why are they copies of himself? Maybe these are failed experiments, failed attempts to separate himself again, because technically the father, the mother, and the child are now in existence, but in this one grotesque form. And they are still aware of what is going on. As you saw when you walked into the crypt, they all seem to look at each other and decide what to do. Maybe they were getting close to the answer. Maybe they were getting close to finding out what was going on. And that's why the crypt was open, in hopes that maybe the family will be made whole and together again in a normal life once more. But that's generally what I think about Pinwheel and what was happening in the catacombs. It really I really like the character Pinwheel. I honestly think, if you have any more ideas on him, please hit me up and tell me what you think about Pinwheel's lore and what happened to him. But generally that's what I think, and I really like the thought of Pinwheel and his character. But yeah, in the end, I guess he never achieved this, as you, the chosen undead, came to end his life. But I guess finally now the family can rest in peace together, after their lives were woven together to become Pinwheel for so long in the art of necromancy. And yeah, I guess I've shown you how to get the Gravelord sword and enter the Covenant and get the Gravelord miracle and the Rite of Kindling. It was my mistake for not doing this in the beginning. I do repeat, you can do this straight from the beginning. It's easier to do with I believe the warrior and bandit classes, as they seem to be a higher level, and especially a higher level in strength, therefore they deal the most damage, which can help you defeat Pinwheel if you're fighting alone. But if you summon the Paladin Leroy, which is why I think they left you the 3 humanity in the beginning, you can use it for that. If you summon the Paladin Leroy, he does significant enough damage such that you don't even really have to fight, just distract him and block while Leroy goes in for the blows. But thank you for listening to me. This was quite a short video, and I'm glad you've made it this far if you're still watching, and I hope that... I know I've been having some issues with some rendering problems and some problems with YouTube as I'm still new to this. I hope to fix all my errors, and hopefully the quality of the videos will get better as time goes on and as I learn more about how to go about things, about the editing, the rendering, and the uploading. Maybe you'll see better quality as time goes on, and I hope generally we will see this series through and see the the Souls days get to the final ending of the game, and we can celebrate this ending together. And thank you for listening to me. I genuinely hope you had a good day, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to the content I had to provide. This is the Chosen Undead. See you soon, all Dark Souls Undead out there. Goodbye and thank you.
Speak to the Romans and all the souls trapped in comas. I focus the loners, feeling the need to cry on shoulders. Suffering karma, overdose, gluttony of the wrong, and the truth is enough. It's time to take up our cross. I'm like the moon, as I reflect the sun, and I bring him to you, the Holy One. Now I won't say I'm perfect, but the battle is won, and I'm a flag carrier till his kingdom comes.
Now would you testify with me this morning that you want people to know about salvation? But are you not asking the same question? How in the world do we do this? I think if he was here today and he was going to teach us how to evangelize, he would use terms like Facebook, internet, carpool lanes, networking, the mall.
I try to pray, but it's funny I don't hear you. But it's clear through the rear view. No one is left behind who seeks you. And I peep through the pigeonhole of hate and deceit. True it is, it's your mind and the faith I'm trying to lead to. I look to your word for all inspiration, doing my part in building the nation. Kingdom, races, all of the forms of discrimination. Abolish for the divine call of salvation. Every knee shall bow, is needless to mention. Marked on the day of his glorious ascension. He shall return and take us all to heaven. I speak to the hopeless and those who thirst for the waters of life, giving importance, feeling so less important, feeling like a beginner, a sinner right at his pinnacles. I am not the man, but there's a man that can deliver you. His name is Jesus, the only one, and I bring him to you, the Holy One. Now I don't say I'm perfect, but the battle is won, and I'm a flag carrier till his kingdom comes.
And you teach more salvation, and they ask for bread. And you tell them, look, I am the bread. I am what you need to fill your life with. I and I alone will fulfill you. And they don't want you. So how can we go out and do anything different? Jesus says, I'll explain exactly what is going on out there when you evangelize. You need to know behind the scenes what is going on in humanity when you preach the gospel. If you understand what's happening when you speak to people about the Lord Jesus and about being born again, everything will make sense. If you understand what's going on behind the scenes in the minds and in the souls of lost people,